Greetings and grace. Are you living or are you dying? We're going to talk about it today. Yes, we are getting into and continuing the book of Ecclesiastes, y'all. You already know what it is. I pray you are well. I pray you're excited. I pray you are ready to start thinking differently, and not just thinking differently, but also moving and acting differently and just going about things differently as a whole. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. All right. So, Ecclesiastes, excuse me. Let me go ahead and get to. They say a Bible that gets, that is actually being used is a Bible that won't look pretty. So I'm getting there, getting some dings and pages and lots of stuff happening. So I'm excited. A time for everything. Oh, skirt. Let me get my life together, y'all. All right. A time for everything. We are in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. A time for everything. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity into the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Come on, Alpha and Omega. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God. I know that everything God does will endure forever. Will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it, and nothing taken from it. God does it so that people will fear him. Whatever is has already been, and whatever will be has been before, and God will call the past to account. And I saw something else under the sun. In the place of judgment, wickedness was there. In the place of justice, wickedness was there. I said to myself, God will bring into judgment both the righteous and the wicked, for there will be a time for every activity, a time to judge every deed. I also said to myself, as for humans, God tests them so that they may see that they are like the animals. Surely the fate of human beings is like that of the animals. The same fate awaits them both. As one dies, so dies the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. All go to the same place. All come from dust, and to dust all return. Who knows if the human spirit rises upward, and if the spirit of the animal goes down into the earth? So I saw that there is nothing better for a person than to enjoy their work, because that is their lot. For who can bring them to see what will happen after them? All right. You already know. You already know what's in store, y'all. Stop playing. We playing out here. We getting into it. Greetings. Secure your path in just 3 steps. I myself knew a piece of my purpose, but I lacked the depths of my vision. I knew that I would make an impact, but I did not feel significant because I didn't know how to achieve this and actually make money online. Now I exercise the confidence of my purpose, execute my strategies for more impact, and I feel more fulfilled making money as a result, helping other educators do the same as me. Some have even left their 9 to 5. Specifically, this year, I want to help 1,000 people discover their purpose in depth, strategize their impact, and make money online organically with the right information and guidance straight, no chaser. Go to online.theetablueprint.com right now so that you can be confident in your purpose like me and no longer lost on your path. My name is Imani Allen and I own Priceless Faith Productions, where your impact can become omnipresent. 10x, baby! All right, let's get into it, y'all. All right, so get this. John 10, verse 10, excellent verse. It's definitely a staple, right? The thief comes to only to steal, kill, and destroy. I come that they may have life and have it to the full. Or, as many people will know, I come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. All right, and not only that, right? This is the NIV. We're going to go to the ESV. It starts A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I come that they may have life and have it more abundantly and have it abundantly. So what we're talking about specifically today is the times. living versus dying, right? We're talking about that today. We're talking about living versus dying in the Bible, Ecclesiastes, hashtag life, hashtag death, hashtag positivity, because life is all around, same as death, but it's all about perspective and how you actually look at it. All right. So, verse 2, actually, we'll do verses 1 and the first start of verse 2. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die. To be born means to live, right? And to die means to no longer be alive. So we're going to, head on up to etymology. We're going to do born. Always press enter. I really just need to press the search bar. Born, brought forth, see, bear, to bring forth, born again, having received spiritual life. That's beautiful. To bear, bring forth. That's beautiful. Let's see. Life. Search. All right. State of living, animate existence, union of soul and body, the period between birth and death, present state of existence. Oh, I like that. Manner of living, moral conduct, animation, a living being, system of animal nature, social state, human affairs, narrative of a life, eternal happiness, also he who bestows it, a quickening principle in a moral sense. All right. So hold on 1 second. And now we got life, now we got death. State of being dead, extinction of life, manner of dying, mortality. A total and permanent cessation of all the vital functions, cause of death, decease, mortality, alienation, the separation of the soul from God, state of being under the domination of sin. Ooh. Alienation or separation of the soul from God, or the state of being under the domination of sin. That's good. Extinction of life. I really like that. Alienation or separation from soul, God, state of being under the domination of sin. And then we've got life, state of living. And hold on 1 second. Union of soul and body. Which one was it? A living being. Social state, manner of living, present state of existence. I like that. So we got present state of existence and versus alienation or separation from the soul of God, state of being under the domination of sin. I really like that. That's really good. So as we talk about the different aspects of life and the different aspects of death, I want you to keep in mind the fact that when it comes to life, it's a present sense, right? It's a continuance. It's the moral conduct, it's the positivity. And when you start thinking about death, right? Steal, kill, and destroy, right? To steal you from from the soul of God, right? To kill that connection and destroy your life. Think of it like that. All right, so let's get into it. When we're talking about being born, right? When we're talking about being born, a woman goes through 3 trimesters: the first trimester, the second trimester, and the third trimester. And I'm going to read this. This is from ucsfhealth.org. And we're going to talk about the 3 trimesters, and then we're going to talk about the stages of death, because I want you guys to start thinking about things differently. The first trimester is the most crucial to your baby's development. During this period, your baby's body structure and organ systems develop. Most miscarriages and birth defects occur during this period. Your body also undergoes major changes during the first trimester. These changes often cause a variety of symptoms, including nausea, fatigue, breast tenderness, and frequent urination. Although these are common pregnancy symptoms, every woman has a different experience. For example, while some may experience an increased energy level during this period, others may feel very tired and emotional. So think about it this way. When you first accept God into your heart, right? You accept Christ into your heart. You believe God, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that, God sent him here on this earth. He died for our sins, and he was raised again 3 days later, right? So that we can have life and have it more abundantly, right? When you start to think about it like that, when you start to make a change in your life to do better, to become a better person, right? To become a person that is a living existence of what love is, right? A lot of things, in fact, do happen. Not only that, a lot of distractions will start to just come out of nowhere, out of the woodwork. Have you ever decided to make a decision like, I'm going to achieve this, and all of the things that are opposite to that will start to show up? It happens all the time. We've all experienced it. We have in various different ways, various different goals. And that's intentional because those first 12 weeks are the most important weeks. Excuse me, first 13 weeks are the most important weeks in the first trimester of this new change, of this new life that you desire, because you're creating it, and it's going to take some time to develop it, right? It's going to take some time to secure it, right? This is where you're securing your habits. And this is important because as you live your life and as you build your business, those first 13 weeks, or we could just say 12 weeks, they matter. They are where your business is at its most fragile. And it's very important to protect the seed. It's very important to protect the egg. It's very important to protect the baby as it's being developed before it starts like really, really growing. It needs as many nutrients as possible. It needs your time. It needs your care. It needs your concern. It needs you to speak life into it. And you have to be careful because distractions can come up to try to deter you, still kill and destroy. Is that making sense, y'all? Talk to me in the chat. So the second trimester, right? The second trimester of the pregnancy is often called the golden period because many of the unpleasant effects of early pregnancy disappear. During the second trimester, you're likely to experience decreased nausea, better sleep patterns, and an increased energy level. However, you may experience a whole new set of symptoms such as back pain, abdominal pain, leg cramps, constipation, and heartburn. Somewhere between 16 and 20 weeks, you may feel your baby's first fluttering movements. So let's think about it this way. Once you've started to create your habit for your new life, what is happening is that you will start to get into this nice, nice rhythm, nice momentum. And it's imperative that you keep going. You keep building that consistency. You keep building that discipline because there will be some new things that will come up. And this might be harder than it was before. But if you really stood on and stood strong on all of the things and the knowledge that you gained and that you've been applying within those first 3 months, guess what? It's going to be easier when those new trials and tribulations come because you're going to be able to go over them because you know they're coming. You see it coming. You gotten your feet wet and you know that a lot of things are happening, including the fact that you're starting to see fruition and fruits of your labor. That is important because that is what's going to help keep you going and keep you stronger when you think, man, all of these things are happening. It's harder than it was before. I know all this information, but guess what? Just right on time. Something's going to happen that's going to give you a new, fresh, refreshing, and restoration, right? A new form of life because of that, right? Now we're into the third trimester. 27 to 40 weeks. You now have reached your final stretch of pregnancy, and you're probably very excited and anxious for the birth of your baby. Some of the physical symptoms you may experience during this period include shortness of breath, hemorrhoids, urinary incontinence, varicose veins, and sleeping problems. Many of these symptoms arise from the increase of the size of your uterus, which expands from approximately 2 ounces before pregnancy to 2.5 pounds at the time of birth. So now you're in, like they said, the final stretch. And it's not necessarily, it doesn't really always have to be like the final stretch. Think of it this way. Think of it as you have systematized, you have set up the consistency, you have automated your business. You have built habits where you not just see the difference in the goals that you've created and how you've improved in your overall growth, but you are starting to see new things try to show up and things get heavier, right? But you already know what to do with it. Not just that, right? What you're seeing is how much bigger and how much more your goals can expand, your brand can expand. Because now that you've got it automated and it's ready and it's rocking and rolling, you get to see things from a whole new different perspective. Oh, shoot, this one stream can turn into 4 or 5 streams. You know, a lot of times we are pushed or we are encouraged, right? We are highly encouraged to, in fact, move so quickly. Yeah, that's cool too. But what if we switched it from moving quickly to moving more strategically? And we switched it to a time of, okay, let's look at it 9 months, a 9 month system where we go from A to Z, because sometimes going too fast can cause us to lose the baby. Right. And you got to be careful because death and life is in the power of the tongue. Not only that, you got to be careful because here are some signs that death may be near, right? And we're not talking about an actual physical death, you guys. We're talking about when it comes to your business, the death of your goals, right? So you lose an appetite, you lose the desire to go after it, drowsiness and fatigue. You're getting sleepier, and it feels good to instead of going for it, instead of being disciplined, to take that step back and get more sleep, right? Discolored skin. Maybe you're starting to eat your emotions because you know that what you are called to do is way more important, and it's highly stressful, and it may cause you to eat your emotions. I just want to encourage you, get some mixed nuts and rock that thing on out so that you don't have to fall into that, because guess what, that creates pimples, you know. I'm just giving some like realistic examples here, because you know what, all of this stuff, it's when you start to think of it in a different way, you start to look at it like, oh shoot, huh, I can connect with that. And that's the whole point, right? We want to find how we can connect, not with just the word of God, but how we, as our whole being in our goals, connect with what God has already said, and how we could change it around for the better, right? So you also got mental confusion. You're confused. You don't know which way to go. Maybe you find yourself consistently overthinking, and this overthinking is causing you to lead into a sense of procrastination or a sense of perfection. And that right there is a huge hindrance to progress. All right. You got to be careful with that. Remember, the thief. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Death comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That is, in fact, death. If they steal you away, they got you vulnerable. Then they can kill you and destroy every existence of you. You got to think about your goals like that. You have to make sure that your goals and what it is you're building can't be taken. And you got to make sure that it is protected. And you got to make sure that it will consistently grow and develop. Woo, come on, y'all. Life and life more abundantly. Labored breath. Maybe you are experiencing anxiety or overwhelm. This is where that meditation comes in. Remember, we do that at 1 p.m. meditation. In fact, there are a ton of days where I've done the meditations. Feel free to click one. Go ahead, do some YouTube searches. There are meditations out here. Take that seriously, because you're going to need that. That is super important, especially if you find yourself overthinking or having some mental confusion or something like that. You want to make sure that you can get back on track and, get balanced in the way that you need to. Kidney failure. Maybe drinking a whole bunch of alcohol. Yeah, it can give you confidence, but that's a temporary type of confidence, and you have to be careful with things like that. And cool extremities, as blood flow begins to slow, the far reaches of the body, such as the fingers and toes, will begin to cool. So this is simply wow. This is typically an extremely late sign, often occurring just hours or even minutes before death. This is frequently paired with mottled and discolored skin. That's wild. So think of it this way: that is when you are numb. You don't want to reach this point where you are so numb to your goals because maybe you messed up. It's okay. We're going to fail. That happens. It's about keeping going. It's about no matter what, you just set the goal a little bit higher and you go harder each time. You go harder each time. You go harder each time. That is what separates winners from the ultimate losers, you guys. We all lose, but the biggest loser is the one that's like that really gives up, and they stop trying because they failed, or because they failed 20 times. No matter what, if you fail 50 times, keep going. I just want to encourage you guys to think of it that way. You don't want to become numb, because the moment you become numb, it's going to be that much harder to get back out of that. So those are the signs of death when it comes to your goals and your business. So think of it like that. And we talked about pregnancy. So I really want you guys to start thinking about it in the sense of, as we already said, right? Living versus dying. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I came so that they may have life and have it abundantly. That's what Jesus said, y'all. Come on, man. I pray you found this exciting. I pray you found something and got some revelations from it, because we got to start thinking and looking at things differently in order to make different changes, in order to be smarter, in order to be stronger, in order to take things to new levels, and the levels that you actually and ultimately want them to go. So be encouraged, because tomorrow we are going to talk about planting and uprooting. Oh, yeah, we are getting into it, y'all. I'm excited. God bless. Thank you so much for being here. You are appreciated and you are loved. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Talk soon.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ron Diamond with What Do You Think Marketing. I want to talk to you guys about Amani. Look, this girl really helped me out when I was in a jam. So I had a prospect, I had a demonstration coming up, and I wanted to really impress this prospect. So I wrote the ad copy, I got everything done, but I really wasn't feeling the ad copy. So I got in touch with Amani, shot it to her. She took a look at it. 24 hours later, sent me the ad copy back. Oh, man, it was fire. So what I was able to do in my demonstration, yeah, money, 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 money. I closed the deal with Amani's help. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about picking up the phone and calling Amani, stop watching the video right now. Pick up the phone and give her a call. You'll be doing yourself, oh man, you'll really be doing yourself a favor.
All right. 475 900 89